So today our mindset call is going over organization, more specifically time blocking. Guys, this has saved my sanity, my life. I don't know. I'm not even exaggerating. Some of y'all remember when Hannah came on and she did a workshop about basically prioritization, creating time, even when it feels like there is no time, and how to do that and what you consider being like a fire versus a non-fire. A lot of us, we get wrapped up in doing little things each day that we consider like top priorities. And then by the end of the day, we didn't get the actual real priorities taken care of because we were so busy doing things like doing the dishes and making food and just little things that are not helping us get where we need to go. So I want to talk about what time blocking actually is, how to create a time block, and how to not only create one, but make one that's effective. I think we can get really ambitious when it comes to creating schedules. Like, I mean, if you guys look back here, those little colorful books are all just agendas, like different ways to organize your day. I can actually show there's even one on my desk, but we can get like super freaking fancy on how we organize our day. And although we have the best intentions, it's hard to keep up with stuff like this because it takes just so much energy. And before we know it, we're like falling back into old habits and we're not even following the schedule that we set up for ourselves. Like, even on this side, I have like notebooks here of daily schedules and things I really wanted to stick to. And, 4 or 5 days later, I was already back on my BS, like not even sticking to the schedule I created. And unfortunately, this is really common. And it's not because these strategies are not effective, but it's because we didn't set ourselves up for success in the first place. So that's what we're going to talk about. Andrea said, so while we're discussing this, just purchased a calendar, Newport's Deep Work. Yeah, planners and calendars can be great for getting ideas and such out onto paper and scheduling them in. But I find that typically the more simple we can make a schedule, oh, that's the author. The more simple we can make the schedule, the better. It's going to really help you stay focused and stick to the calendar. So that way you don't have books full of planner or books full of schedules that you created that you never followed through on. Just by a show of hands, I mean, I can't see any of you guys. By the way, on workshops and mindset calls, it means like a whole lot to me to be able to see your lovely faces and not feel like I'm just like talking to little pictures on a screen. So if you can come on video, that would make me feel better. Hey. And also we can interact a little bit more. So I can be like, hey, if you have done this, like thumbs up. If you haven't, like we can actually interact with each other a little bit more and not just like little selfies on the Zoom call. But anywho, I'm gonna walk you guys through time blocking. And while we do this, I want you to actually grab a pen and paper and write these things down as we go, because the idea is not for you to just like listen and be like, okay, yeah, that's a cool concept, and then go back to living your life how you were. Ideally, I want you to like really break these down while we are on this training, so that way by the time we're done, you have a blocked schedule, you know exactly what it entails, and you're like ready to execute. Hey, what's going on, Brenda? Thanks for hopping on video. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen because I have a little presentation here for you guys prepped, because I'm very visual and I like having these kinds of things here. Okay, one moment. Okay, bring this thing up, share screen. Now let me know if you have a pen and paper ready or if you need a minute to go grab it. You guys got it? Got it? Okay. And you guys can all see this here? You can see my screen? Yes? Yes? No? Okay. All right, guys, you got to give me something here. So, okay, we're going to time batch like a pro. You guys are going to be professionals. So many of y'all don't really know what time batching is. This could be the very first time you've ever heard of it. So what is a time block? A time block is basically a set period of time dedicated to one specific thing. Now, not one task. So like you wouldn't create a time block for like washing dishes, but a time block could be like manage the household. where you do things like wash dishes, take out the trash, organize your pantry, whatever it is that's taking care of the house. So a block of time is basically just a designated part of your day for one specific type of task. Okay, so when we create a blocked schedule, instead of saying from 5:30 to 6, I'm washing dishes. From 6 to 7, I'm cooking dinner. From 7 to 7:30, I'm eating. So it's not so detailed. A time block is more vague. It's just around this time or at this time, I'm doing these kinds of things. Okay, so that's a time block. Now, the way we create time blocks is you start out with your top priorities. You don't start out with things you need to do. Like, obviously, we all need to do our laundry at times. We all need to, blow dry our hair to get ready for the day. But those are not like things that will make or break your life, right? So, the way that you create your blocks is you want to break down your top priorities that are going to push your life forward in the direction that you want. And everyone's blocks can look different. So for example, if you are working on getting a degree, your block might be to set aside time to work on your degree. If you're, want to set aside time because your relationship is really important, then you might put relationship time or family time as a block in your schedule because that's something that's important. If you want to dedicate time to a morning routine, then you want to maybe put a morning routine block together. So it's really what are your top priorities? Now, some examples here. All of you guys have something in common to where your health and fitness has become a top priority. So it would be silly to not have your fitness as one of your time blocks, right? Setting aside time to dedicate to this thing. So anything else that you really want to accomplish, that will be you write that down. So I'm going to give you guys a minute to write down your top priorities. And these are things that are like non-negotiables in your life because they are important to you, not because you have to, not like the laundry, not the housekeeping, none of that. Like just super important things for you to do. I'll give you some examples of what were on mine. For me, learning things is really important. Like I always want to be studying and learning more about health and fitness and being a great leader for the sake of doing my job well. So one of my time blocks is learn stuff. And then I also know that for my mental health, I cannot work 10 hours straight. So I need to put like a block in there where it's dedicated to nothing. I can take a walk, I can take a nap, I can eat a snack, I can lay on the floor and still stare at the ceiling. It really doesn't matter, but I know that I need that in order to be effective and productive. I know that I also need time in the morning to like wake up and do my thing without distraction of working, checking emails, looking at texts, getting on social media. So I also have a block for just like get ready for the day block. But your blocks can look totally different. So let me know once you have completed your blocks or if you have at least 3 to 5 blocks available or written down of things that are important to you, top priority in your life. And let me know when you're done. Hey, Sydney, I'm going to make you the host in case anyone jumps in, that you can approve them into the Zoom call. Okay, are we good with that? You guys have some priorities laid out? Okay. So then we go into, now this is something I kind of just brushed on really quick. We can get caught up in just loading our day with productive things, which I think is great, but you have to make sure that one of your blocks is a time to rest. And I don't mean sleep, because obviously you have to go to bed at some point, but I mean to break up your day. There are so many studies that show that we are most effective, most creative, most sharp when we basically break up our deep work time. So if you're like studying for something or you're doing anything that requires a lot of focus, that you shouldn't put more than 90 minutes towards something at a time. Some people even argue that we should only be working in like 30-minute intervals. I wouldn't go that extreme. I know I can work longer than 30 minutes, but I do know that I have to have a block where it's just like do nothing and there's no rules to the block. So make sure that in that block, in the blocks that you wrote down, if you did not put chill out or rest, that you add that in there now. All right. Now, the important thing here is that we are realistic. Realistic block schedules always win. And part of the idea is that your blocks should not be rushed. So for example, if you put like self-care time and that's your gym time, and you're also supposed to like prep your food for the day and eat your breakfast, you shouldn't put like a 1 hour block, because that's where we mess up when we do those really detailed schedules where everything is like planned out by the minute. If something doesn't go as planned, it knocks off our entire schedule and then we just stop following it. So you have to make sure that your blocks are realistic. So in my block schedule, I actually don't have like a gym block. My block is the leave the house block. So anytime I have to leave the house for anything, whether it's like I need to run to, FedEx to ship something, or I need to go to an eye doctor appointment, go to the gym, it all has to fit into leave the house block. That's the only time it can go. It cannot go in any other block. So anything that requires me to leave the house goes into the leave the house block. And it's not going to be realistic to make the leave the house block an hour and a half. Like if it takes me 20 minutes to get to the gym, 20 minutes to get back, and like a 45-minute workout, it leaves me with no other time left to do any other necessities. So my leave the house blocks are usually around like 2.5 hours. Gives me plenty of time to go to the gym. Obviously, I have rest days after my mental toughness challenge. I'll have rest days. So then I'll have a full 2 hours or so to do just like run errands, go to Target if I need to get more detergent, like do things that require me to leave the house. And yeah, the goal is to allow yourself enough time to fully focus and actually complete your tasks for this block. If you're rushing through and you're stressed out through the whole block, it's not going to be productive. You're just going to be super stressed out the whole time. So make your block times realistic. Now, when you put your blocks on a schedule, so let's say you wrote everything out, like the whole day is accounted for, all of your blocks are perfectly aligned in your schedule. When one block ends and a new block starts, you need to think of it as like you're clocking out of that job. So for example, if I have my leave the house block, and the leave the house block is from 4 to 6 p.m. and it's 5:50, I better be rushing my butt home to be back by 6 so I can start my new block. The blocks should not bleed into each other. Think of it as like being late to your job. Like you can't be late to your job. So you have to make sure that you are on top of it, because once one block is over, you clock out of that block and you're into your new block. Anything that, if you didn't have time to finish something, you don't let it drag on until you're done. You're done, you move on. Think of it like in school when you had all the different classes to go to and the bell rings. Your teacher or you are not like, oh, go ahead and finish your assignment, your next class can wait. It's not how it works. It's like, okay, we'll close the books, we'll finish tomorrow. So it's the same way your block schedule should be. You do not carry on your blocks. You just finish it there, move on. If you sabotage your blocks, you're sabotaging your results, because if these blocks are designed to help you meet your top priorities and you're sabotaging the blocks, or you're letting them all merge into each other and you're pushing them aside, then you are just completely, you're getting in the way of the results. So when the block is over, carry on into the next block. And in the beginning, that can feel really weird and really frustrating, because you're like, but I'm almost done with this. But it honestly sets you free, because you can be super laser focused on just what you're doing in that moment. So like I mentioned on my morning block, my phone stays on airplane mode in my morning block, because I don't want to be spending time checking DMs, looking at emails, or like, calling my mom back who called me yesterday in the evening and I didn't get to it. Like this is just my time to be me, to wake up, to not like rush and jump out of bed already in a stress state. Like I can get up, I can eat my breakfast, I can get ready for the day and just be like peaceful and relaxed. And then the moment I get into my next block, I take everything off of airplane mode. And I'm like, okay, now I can actually like be ready for everything the world is going to throw at me right now. And we're good, because I'm in that block, no big deal. So that being said, I'm going to show you guys some sample blocks here. Now you let me know if this kind of looks like yours. So a sample block can be like, you have a work block, you have a self-care block, you have an errands block, maybe a family/relationship time block. You might have a chill out block, and maybe a read and learn block. So here we have, now this is 6 blocks. Yours can be 6 blocks, yours can be 4 blocks, whatever you want it to be, but you don't want it to really go more than this. Now, these are things that obviously they're non-negotiables. You have to schedule in time to go to work because that's a non-negotiable in your life. You have to set in time to run errands because at the end of the day, things still have to be done in your household. You can't let everything fall apart. And then you put things in here that are important, like important for your mental health, self-care, family time, chill out, read and learn, improvement, advancement, whatever. So these are some sample blocks. Next slide, I'm going to show you a sample blocked schedule. And then on the final slide, I'll show you what my block schedule actually looks like. So a sample block schedule can be like maybe from 7 to 8:30 a.m. You get ready for your day, you make your smoothie, you write your goals. Notice you have an hour and a half to do that. It's not rushed. You're not giving yourself 15 minutes to like eat, brush your teeth, get ready, shower, get dressed. Like you're allowing yourself time to like let your body wake up, get your brain woken up, do things that you need to do, and then maybe from 8:30 to 6:15 p.m. maybe that's dedicated to work. So that's your work block. And then 6:15 to 7:30 maybe that's your self-care block, your me time, where you can, go and do like a yoga class, or maybe you want to stop by the gym on the way home or whatever it is, but this is like a block to take care of yourself, your health, whatever you got. And then maybe from 7:30 to 9, that's like your chill out family time. This may be where you guys eat dinner together, watch your favorite show, whatever you want to do. This is just family time, which means anything that is not family time or chill out time should not be here. Like, this is not a time to check your phone. This is not a time to pick up, like, finish some work you didn't get done. It's not a time to go and like handle everyone's laundry. This is your family time where you are present and engaged and you are the person you want to be in your relationship and in your family. Okay. And then maybe from 7:30 to 9, once day's winding down, this is like your passion project time. Let's say you have a side hustle. Let's say you're working on a project. Let's say you have your own business going and you want to like finish some stuff off. This is like basically you productive time. And then from 9 to 11, maybe this is your night routine. This is where you can shower, maybe you can do your hair, whatever, prep for yourself for the next day, get your outfit ready, do some reading, maybe just hang out, you and your partner by yourselves, no family, no TV, no dinner, just like you two just hanging out, whatever it is you want to do. So this is a sample block schedule. Now, I understand that my schedule probably will look a bit different because I don't have like a regular job. I hang out with you guys all day, basically. So my schedule looks a little bit different from others, but this is like, these are my blocks here. So I have my morning block, where, as I mentioned, there's no social media, there's no working, there's no phone. I use this time to get dressed, eat, whatever. If I want to take my dogs for a walk, I can do that. And then I have the talking to people block. Now, this is any type of appointment, call, coaching session, anything that requires me to be like on, present, ready, facing people, talking to people. It all goes in here. And then I have my leave the house block that I told you guys about. Anything that requires me to leave the house has to be fit in here. If I have to run an errand, if I have to go to an appointment, if I have to go to the gym, whatever, it all has to land on the leave the house block. And then I have the chill out block / do whatever I want. I usually stick this towards like the second half of my day when I'm starting to feel a little bit burned out and tired because I've been working all day. I'll put that in there just to like go downstairs, throw myself on the couch, scroll TikTok, go for a walk. Like, there's no rules. I just do whatever I want. And then I have my deep work / creative block. This is where I put things together, like put systems together. This is where I do creative work. This is maybe where I'll create like some fun videos for Instagram, just deep work where it requires my creativity part of my brain to jump in and do some work. So my blocks, when I put them onto my schedule, can look like this. So my morning block, I allow 2 hours in case I need to do something in the morning, like I want to take my dogs to the dog park or whatever. And I have my leave the house block. Now this is the Monday block. What I ended up doing, because my schedule can look kind of different throughout the week, I have a Monday, Wednesday block and a Tuesday, Thursday, Friday block. So yours don't have to be like this. Yours can be the same every day. But obviously, working for yourself, you have to be able to be semi flexible. So, like on Tuesdays, for example, me and Coach Sydney, me and Coach Kels, I'm sorry, not Tuesdays, Fridays, we all get together and we do a group call. And I have to make sure I'm putting it in a time that works for everybody. So that's why that schedule might look a little bit different. So I alternate between two block schedules. That works for me. If it's complicated, don't do it that way. Keep it simple for you, keep it practical for you. So this can be, yeah, these are basically what my block schedules look like. So from 1:30 until 6, I'm either doing deep work, talking to people, and then I might chill out for a little bit and then I might learn some stuff. So either way, by doing these things each day, I'm getting closer to the big goal. I'm getting closer to learning stuff. I have my mental health in check so I don't overwork myself, which I've done plenty of times where I will work like 11 hours a day and just be completely burned out and miserable. Um, so I put in time to do everything that's important to me. So then by the end of the week, I've actually accomplished a lot of stuff and I didn't go crazy doing it. This is Mondays are a little bit lighter days, but then like Tuesday, Thursday, Friday are like really hectic, heavy days. But I didn't want to put like my busiest schedule on here to make you guys think like your schedule should be super loaded up. They shouldn't be. But that's why on purpose, like my Monday and my Wednesday are a little bit more chill because I need time to be like, whew, okay, let's like bounce back and get ready for the busy days again. So I want to give you guys a minute to look at your schedule, look at your weekly calendar, and figure out where these blocks should go. Not just like, not where you think they should go, just based on what you see, like all these productivity coaches saying. If you guys like follow like Gary Vee and Grant Cardone and all these people that are like 10x, overwork yourself, take cold showers, get up at the crack of dawn. As much as we want to be like that person, we have to make sure that this is actually going to work. So, figuring out when is your brain going to be most tuned in to this block. So, for example, if you have like a passion project or like a business you're working on, to put it like smack dab in the middle of the day when you're going to be thinking of 100 other things might not be beneficial. It might need to go like at night once everyone's going to bed so you can actually have quiet time and focus, or like putting your family time at a time where everyone's going to be present. You're not going to be, running any children to their sporting events or whatever. So make sure that they are actually realistic. And I'll give you a couple minutes to kind of put a rough outline together. Is there any way to make a block schedule when you have work around classes throughout the day? Your block schedule can be whatever you want. That's why I didn't want to like start out with my block schedule, because I know it probably wouldn't relate to pretty much anybody else. So yeah, your block schedule should work for you. And if it, yeah, whatever makes sense for you. The idea is when your blocks end is that you make sure that you mentally clock out of the previous block and you're going into the new block mentally. So if you have to like work around classes, and yeah. In fact, I just got a notification because hang on, I think right now is my learn some shit block. I kind of had fun making it. I'm like, chill the fuck out block, learn some shit block. So I got like, hey, get ready. So what I did, when you guys start actually inputting this into your phone schedule, now, as much as like handwritten planners are so lovely, we take our phones everywhere. So even if you still want to write these in a planner, I recommend that you put these in your phone too. And then you set yourself 15-minute reminders to remind you, hey, in 15 minutes, we're moving into this block. So that way you can like wrap up whatever it is you're doing. Or if you're like still in line at Target, you can be like, oh shoot, my leave the house block is ending right now. I need to get home because my new block is starting. So give yourself like a little cushion of time, a reminder to complete what you're doing and move into your next block. Andrea, you have a thinking face on. Did you have a question? No? Okay.
I always
Block
think.
schedules can get really, really intense. Like when Hannah did her workshop, she has them color coordinated. She has them like looking so fancy. You can really get very, very complicated with it. If your brain likes detail and you thrive best on a lot of detail, then you can take this really far. But if you're like me and you need simplicity, then this is like a very simple way to do a block schedule. Let me know when you guys have your rough outline done. Hey Brenda, how are you doing? Good. Are you done? No? Do you feel like you guys need quite a bit more time with this? Because if so, I won't wait until you guys are done right now. I can kind of just, this will be like your homework for the evening, unless you feel like you're almost done. What do you guys think? I love the thinking faces. Okay, why don't we do this? I don't want you to rush through these. I want to make sure that you strategically plan these so that way they work for you guys. Now, it's up to you if you want every day to have the same block schedule. But if, like, for example, like Alyssa, if you have like classes to work around and not every day you have the same classes or the same times, then it might serve you to have maybe like a Monday block, a Tuesday block, a Wednesday block, which basically like you can't just decide, oh, I'm going to move my classes around to suit my block schedule. You have to make sure the schedule works for what you've got going on. So if you have to have a different schedule for each day, then that's totally fine. Just more reason to put that in your phone. Like I only have two that I alternate through, and every day I have no idea what blocks are on there. I have to look on my calendar because I'm like, what time did I leave the house today? And my boyfriend would be like, hey, when's your leave the house block? Because we have to go to Costco or something. And I'm like, let me check. Because I don't remember like when they are. I'm just like focusing on each block as it comes. But if you have to alternate, just make sure that it's saved on your phone and set it as like a reoccurring event. So it just every week it, you know, automatically loads in there for you. So then that'll be the homework for the rest of the evening for you guys. When you are done, there's a little bit of this that it's important that you do. When you're done, take a picture or take a screenshot of your block schedule and post it in the group so everyone that was not on this live call knows how important it is to create the block schedule. It kind of just like helps entice everyone else to jump on board and get this done too. And it's like a little accountability thing. So everyone that did your block schedule, post in the group when it's done. All right. And I can promise you with so much confidence that this will leave you so much more mentally clear. And when you do have, when you're going into a new block, you're going to know exactly what to focus on. It's going to make you more productive, more creative, everything. You're just going to be a better version of you. You're going to give your best foot forward because you're not thinking of a million things at once. You're able to focus in on your relationship or on your studying or on your side business or on your work. Like you just get to be fully present in whatever it is that you're doing in that moment. So I'm excited for you guys and I would love your feedback. Are we doing them the entire week or just one day? Now that's kind of what I was mentioning is if one block schedule works for your whole week, perfect. If you need to do a different block schedule for each day of the week, like if you have specific classes that you have to work around, obviously one block schedule can't work for every day, where you might have to do like a Tuesday, Wednesday block, maybe a Thursday block, a Friday block. So that way, you're going off of what your schedule looks like. Kelsey said time blocking helps. It helps everyone. Everyone that actually commits to doing a block schedule, I have not heard one person be like, yeah, I didn't really like that. I've just never heard that before. And I got this idea from my coach, Hannah. I mentioned Hannah a lot. For those of you guys that are new or you probably don't know who Hannah is, Hannah did a workshop for us a couple of months ago. She advises, coaches, 7-figure business owners, helps them get more organized, helps them get more productive, more stuff done, be more productive. So she's used to working with people that have just tons of stuff on their plate and have to make themselves more productive and kind of eliminate all the noise. So she knows what she's talking about. Her brain is very organized. And she is the one that put me on the block schedule. And I cannot thank her enough. It is just like such a lifesaver. So I know it'll help you guys too. And I pay her big bucks to coach me. So you guys are getting some insights on what she teaches me.
And also,
all right, guys.
go
ahead.
those of you who are new, if you want to watch that video, there's a replay of it on the Facebook group. Let me know if you want me to tag you on it.
It's actually up there too, like one of the more recent posts, because I recently tagged one of the other ladies in it. So it kind of put it back to the top. You can find it in the announcements. But yeah, if you want that, let Sydney know and we can just tag you in it too. Alyssa wants to be tagged.
Got it, will do.
Anyone else? Speak now or forever hold your peace. Andrea wants to be tagged too. Okay, cool.
Good.
Any last words? Sydney, did you want to say anything before we end today's call?
No, time blocking has been like a game changer for me for such a long time. And I even used to do this like for my life, but also for my work day itself as well. Because in my old job, I was an event planner, and you have a million different directions when you're doing that type of job. So sometimes, I don't know if you guys can relate to this too, you'll have like a million things circling through your head, and you're like super busy for the whole day, and then your day ends and you're like, what did I even do? And this has kind of freed me of that.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. You're very giggly over there, Brenda. All right, guys, thank you so much for being here. I always appreciate doing these calls, giving you guys some insight on what will make you more organized and clear-headed and all of that. So don't forget, when you have completed your block schedule, take a picture, screenshot it, and share it in our private Facebook group. Cool? All right, guys, have an amazing night. We'll talk soon. Bye.